Welcome to Jeannie and Jess and G. GJ, Jinxoricious.
Tell us in the comments which one you like best. We'll...
Give us a name.
Yeah, help us out a little bit here.
We're thinking about doing this series called Things We Wish We Could Tell Everyone. So today's topic is insecurities.
Insecurities. Do you wanna start?
Yeah, I'll start. I feel we are born perfect. Like, we are born just like pure and playful and happy and completely in love with ourselves. And then over time, we just lose that and we just get fear and anxiety and insecurities just like fed into us. And it's no one's fault, but it's like a contagious disease. Because we are so perceptive as humans. Like, we just see things, we constantly mirror and reflect, and we think, well, that's like that, I have to be like that. We constantly criticize other people for something that we feel insecure about ourselves. And I think that's how it spreads.
I agree.
That's when it hits you, the fucking teenage times, when you start getting the boobs, or you don't get the boobs.
Yeah, puberty.
And then you start getting the hair. I remember sitting in the bus to school in the Dominican Republic, and this guy, like, was sitting next to me, and he's just like, ew, you have hair on your legs. Oh, like, I didn't know that was, like, not okay. Like, no one's told me, like, I didn't get the memo. Yeah. And then people started to tell me I was fat. You need to lose weight. You're fat, this and that. Boys would walk behind me and they would go, boom, 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 earthquake. And I just started thinking that I was fat. And I started comparing myself to other people. So that like love, that like pure like childlike innocence that I had in myself started like breaking away. And like when I started looking at myself, you know, and then the opposite happened as well. That people were coming up to me and being like, oh, you're so skinny. Did you lose weight? And I'm like, did I have to lose weight? The more that I wanted to diet, the more it became like a thing in my head that I'm not allowed to eat certain things. And then the more I wanted to eat those certain things. Mm-hmm. And like the less I moved and the more I became depressed and just like the more I hated myself. Whenever you compliment yourself, you're like, oh my God, I look so good today. They're like, oh, like what, you think you're so full of yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you think you're like yourself, you're not, you're like, we're like in this society where we're not supposed to love ourselves. And I remember like this one moment for me that really like completely changed my life. I was like the biggest I've ever been. And there's a video of this in Australia, and I was at this festival, Folk Rhythm Life Festival, and people were taking off their clothes and they were skinny dipping in full daylight, like not in the night, like sneaking around, you know, whatever. It was just like full on vagin penises, what's up, you know?
Right.
And I was just like, I was like, wow, I need to do this, you know? I just like took off my clothes and I was like, woo, like we're all people, and I was like splashing in the water, and I was just like, you know, like my belly, like there's like this picture, like this like, video of me, and I like watched it later, and I didn't even realize like how big I was. But that was like the breaking point for me when I was just like, I'm gonna accept myself, I'm gonna love myself. And it's been like a journey ever since. And like a big thing for me has been trying to be as naked as possible, like as often as possible, especially like around friends. When I dress, that I stop, you know, going like this or whatever, or like I'll just be like, what's up? And like, and I'm still working on it. Like I still feel insecure about that, and depends like what I'm wearing, or like even right now, like getting up on this tree and just being like, I have like these thighs, like I don't know if you can see them right now, or like this thing that I'm wearing, like I'm just like, hey, like check out my belly, like it's just like I could like do a butt with my belly. This is just like a possibility for me. This is like a reality.
Well, because it's skin, and yeah, we all.
And I have like all this like extra where I'm just like, okay. What totally freaking kills me is when I am walking around somewhere and someone's wearing shorts or a crop top and they're like, they shouldn't be wearing that. Like, why are they doing this to society? And I'm like, excuse me? Like, who says there is a certain way that we have to be and that is not beautiful? You know, if that is their form of expression, and like you in front of me, like even if I'm not that person,
right,
that they're talking about, and they're saying, look at that fat bitch, or look at her ass. She shouldn't be wearing, like, she shouldn't be wearing a crop top. I'm like, what? Like, what's the difference between, like, me and her? Like, what is a perception, like, of fat?
These girls who are tiny and beautiful and just who are really fitting the standard of, like, beauty still don't think that it's, like, good enough. And it's like, dude, like...
Because it's never going to be good enough for anyone else. That's the problem. Because everyone is, like, feeding so much on their own insecurities that they project. They can't even see you. Like, a lot of people, like, can't even look at you because they're so, like... They're just so busy with wondering how they look like. Because it doesn't matter what you change on the outside. If you don't change the inside, you're not even going to be able to see this.
It doesn't even matter.
Exactly. And so that's why once I made that decision and like I switched it around, I was just like, okay, well, it's all up to me. It's all about how I feel about me,
Right.
how I love myself. And I was just started saying, okay, I love myself. I'm perfect.
Right.
You know, I'm going to embrace all parts of me, you know? And that's when then also my eyes started seeing this as what I wanted to be in a realistic way, like being able to see my mirror image instead of like dysmorphia.
Right. And so you think, like, for you, like, the best way was just, also you said kind of like putting yourself out there. You
Yeah.
went and you were at this festival
Yeah.
and you were like, you know what, like, I'm just gonna, you
Yeah.
know what, even though I might be bigger than I want to be,
Yeah.
or other people might think I'm fat, like, whatever, you know what, dude, I'm gonna take off my clothes and I'm gonna go.
Exactly. Okay, but that was, I think, like one of my biggest issues. Tell me about yours.
My biggest insecurity that I have faced is I have a birthmark on my face, as you can see right here. Here. I'm sure.
Just have you
there.
have you seen the
Have you
birthmark?
seen
It's right on her face.
Because you probably haven't seen it before this.
Yeah.
Because, so for pretty much all of my teenage and adult life, I have worn makeup on my face to cover this. Just because it's something that I don't really like about myself. And it's a lot of people stare, and it's just like the only thing I feel like people see on my face sometimes. So it's like I'll wear makeup and then they have no idea. And it was obviously, like, when I was growing up, it was a huge problem for me. I've had a lot of laser surgery on it, actually, like, to lighten it. So I went to a summer camp about a month ago now, and I was working there as a camp counselor, and I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I have a choice right now. I'm either going to have to wear makeup every day and, like, wear makeup at summer camp. It's super hot. It's like, really? Or I'm just going to have to be like, you know what? Like, to hell with it. Like, this is me. This is my face. Like, I'm not going to wear any makeup, and I'm not going to even attempt to hide it or do anything. And I took a leap of faith, I guess, and I chose the latter. And I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like I'm in a position where I can be kind of an example, maybe, hopefully, to kids. Like, this sounds so like Disney, but like, I have something very clear on my face that is not normal, that people could, like, say something about and could be nasty about it. And I am choosing to be like, you know what? This is me, and I'm not going to hide it or cover it for anyone else, like, to make them feel more comfortable. Surprisingly to me, like, none of the kids really said anything. Like, I can count on one hand how many people said something, and all of them were, like, just asking me a question. Like, it wasn't like, no one was like, oh, what's that? Like, you're ugly, this or that, whatever. And I think a lot of the reason for that was just because I didn't make it into anything. It might sound like kind of small and like silly, but that was really a big step for me. That is the longest that I've gone without wearing any makeup. 2 weeks, yeah, like 14 or 15 days. No one really cares that much about this, at least for me. I've realized most people really don't care.
Yeah,
I'm really insecure about it, but like,
yeah, that's the thing. Exactly. The thing is, like, I think nothing ever has to do with you. It's like in the 4 agreements. Don't ever take anything personal.
don't take it personal. If you want to wear makeup, cool. If you don't want to wear makeup, cool. That's for you to decide.
Yeah, but the fact is also that it's okay to have insecurities. Like, even if you wear makeup to cover something up, it's not good or bad. Like, it's just fucking neutral. It is what it is. But, like, these kind of discussions, this conversation that we're having about right now is about opening it up more. About saying, yeah, like, yeah, I'll wear things that, like, hide my belly or, like, try to, like, you know, I am trying to alter myself, or I am, you know, trying to
Well, you're obviously
deal
trying
with
to show
things.
the best parts of yourself.
Exactly. And, like, it's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. And it's also about thinking about, where does this come from? And why am I doing this? And do I have to do this? Is this beneficial to me? And is it making me feel good or not?
Mm-hmm.
And once you check up on those questions, then you can, you know, decide which path you want to take.
Am I putting this makeup on for other people so that they're more comfortable? So that they're not having questions? Or am I doing it for me? So,
like, the best advice I can give you ever on your own choices and your own emotional guidance system, how does this make me feel right now? Is this making me feel good? Great.
great.
Is it not? Then no. Yeah, so, I mean, as a call to action for you, either tell us about your insecurities if you want to upload a video. I know this is scary, this was scary for you as well. You were saying like, you're
Yeah,
just,
I was like really not happy to film a video with no makeup on. I was like, okay, all right.
yeah. So like push those boundaries a little bit and watch yourself and stop maybe untagging yourself from shitty photos, or post a picture of yourself sad one day or crying or without makeup, and you know, send us back a video. Do a video response to this if you want to, or just make a video just for yourself and just watch it again and ask yourself, what am I insecure about?
Right.
Or just comment and tell us what you're insecure about.
We just talked it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel better.
I feel better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my god.
Because it is kind of a taboo thing. And it is something that people don't really discuss.
Also, maybe
People you're close
consider
with.
that vulnerability is strength, and that's what we really look for that in people. And when someone has the courage to stand up and say, I'm afraid, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know what to do from here, and I need help.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much strength in that.
Yeah, when you can open up
Yeah.
yourself and to other people, it's like,
Yeah.
then that's when things start to happen. That's when you start to grow and evolve. Be
Yeah.
better you.
And maybe think that when something makes you fearful, when you see a fear in something, ask yourself why, and maybe walk towards that. You know, don't turn around. We love you, warts
so
and all.
much.
Yeah, we love your warts
Freaking toes that are all.
and your hairy
Look,
armpits.
I have hairy armpits too. Yay! High five, hairy armpit, high five.
That's good. Wait, let me just do this one more time. Hello.
Woo! These pants kind of like tuck in the.
Yeah, it does look good.